Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 271 of the Noclip podcast. We're here with a full crew, a different crew though. Frank is still on Joji Pro Wrestling duty in Japan, having the best of time, living his best life. The J Crew's here, Jeremy Jane, Jesse Grasha. How you doing, lads?
Excellent.
I'm doing well. Who up Pokeopia? You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me? What?
You know what I said. You heard me.
Dear Lord. Fair enough. And we're also delighted to be joined by Noclip 2's secret weapon, nocaps. Thank you for joining us this week.
Woo,
Yeah, I'm
welcome.
happy to be here.
Happy to have you. We needed to have you here because you are you're part of the four-way crew that played some Big Walk late last week. So we're gonna chat about some big walking. Is that the best game about walking you've ever played?
It's up there.
It's up there. Okay.
Walking
Played Death
and
Stranding?
talking, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. There's not much talking
Little
at
bit.
Death Stranding. Yeah. We have a lot of games to talk about this week, folks. We are going to talk about Big Walk from House, the folks behind Untitled Goose Game, Push Me, Pull You. It's not out yet, so that's a preview. But there are a bunch of games that are out as well we get to talk about. Banquet of Fools, Pokopia. Is that called Pokemon Pokopia? Pokopia?
Pokemon Pokopia.
Pokopia. I was doing the European pronunciation.
Yeah. It's very Italian of you.
Pokopia. Pokemon Pokopia. They are really messing with people on that one.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Oeuf, as in egg in French, not
the Roblox sound?
Not the Roblox sound. You beat me to it.
Tommy Tallarico's very happy about this. Yeah, his mom is
he's
very proud.
He's going to sue us right now.
Oh, no!
Slay the Spire 2 as well. And also Poker Night at the Inventory has been re-released. So loads and loads of stuff to talk about. But first of all, we need to lay praise at the feet of our incredible patrons over at patreon.com/noclip and our Battle Pass holders, all of whom we would love to go on a big walk with, including Brian Baru, Little Toast, Yash, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passateri, It's a me, Ferrario. They know how to pronounce. Oh, wait, no. There's no Italian games on this one. For some reason, I thought Pokemon was Italian for a second.
Oh,
Just because it sounds Italian when you say Pokemon Pokopia with like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you push the accent too far, it sounds Jamaican. You got to be careful.
Everything.
Pokemon.
Everything goes back to Ireland eventually, is it?
It's
Yeah,
the
true.
bacon beer can thing. If you say
beer can.
Yeah.
Bacan, yeah, I love it. Apparently, Jamaican for jumper is Ganzi.
Okay.
That's what they call like a jumper, like a hoodie or whatever. Ganzi is literally Irish for a sweater.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
It's cool overlap.
Put on your Ganzi there. It's fierce cold outside.
That's Jamaican impression. No, just kidding.
That's really good. Yeah.
Sorry.
Who else we got here? Sorry, we're the Italians. Senator Armstrong, Reed Dredge, Harry Flanagan, Juice, Arno, Matt Pearson, Mark Rojas, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Huster, Pez, Bone Malt, John Akers, Ewan Nate, Tim Robinson, Forrest Pruitt, Dark Insanities, Jonathan Kremen, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Grizzly Mug, Cameron Ladd, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Sekotis, Jacob, Godserve, Anthea Jen, we love you, James Med, and Ryson. Thank you all for joining us on this big walk of this podcast. Could be a long one, folks. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, Big Walk. So we played some Big Walk. We jumped in with some very fun PR people, and we played over an hour of this game. Jeremy, let's go to you first. You had a good summation of this during the video we recorded, which hopefully is up by now. We kind of went over the embargo stipulations, so we're chatting to them about whether or not we can publish it as is, because it's real good. But Jeremy, you mentioned something. You were like, it's like a whimsical mist. Is that how you'd still describe it?
Yeah, it's I mean it plays almost nothing like Myst, but it has similar sort of like atmospheric characteristics. You're at a mysterious island-like place kind of outside with very little explanation or exposition or setup, and you're just walking around kind of solving puzzles with friends. But it's like, I don't know, there's something really unique about the tone of it. It's very... I saw Jesse post something yesterday about how people need to stop saying friend slap, and I feel like Big Walk is like it's like the curse of the Bambino ending. It's ending friend slap. You know what I mean? It's like an elevated. It's a virtual friend space. It's something different. I feel like it's like. It has the characteristics of Hangout games. It feels very fun and just sort of like free form, and you can kind of just fuck around. You can pick each other up and throw each other. It's very physicsy. You can like raise one arm and the other arm and point one arm and do like weird little gestures.
Do the Macarena.
You can do the Macarena. You can do the Hokey Pokey. All of which has sort of like gameplay implications, because if you're very far away from someone and they can't hear you yelling, you can like do, you know, like a guy on the runway signals to them. Right. But it's also just like, it feels like a lot of the things that are gameplay oriented double as sort of weird expressive little things you can do. There was a puzzle that involved us all picking each other up, but also there were plenty of times where we just picked each other up just to like throw each other for fun. So it feels like it rides the line really well between, I find that a lot of Hangout games, even when I play them and have fun with my friends, that it feels like the actual gameplay, like the core activities you're doing, feel either very simple or kind of like secondary to just like, oh, I'm just like hanging out with my friends. I'm like in a place. This is just a place you hang out and there is some light gameplay. This feels very like you're solving puzzles and stuff, but it doesn't skimp on the atmospheric stuff that makes those games fun too.
Yeah, I think having all that space to sort of allow players to hang out, not just in the sense of like, we're going to hop in Lethal Company, we're going to do a couple things, we're going to pick up some items, get some resources, and then start all over again when we come back. This is like, the way they described it was there was a story, or not a story, but like a sort of campaign, a series of things that you do that remain consistent over time, and like whoever started the room has to be the person who creates it next time, I think is what they described.
Yeah, so the save game like is with the host, I guess. Yeah,
that's the words.
And the tutorial had like progression. It wasn't like you know, a lot of these games are round based, maybe is the way to say it. I'm not quite sure how Big Walk works, but it seems like it is a point to point game, maybe.
Yeah, like there's some sort of persistence between the things that you're doing. So it's like you're coming back with your friends to hang out in a space that you understand with controls and systems that you get. But then you're always, it seems like, doing something new with those systems, whether it's communicating along a far distance or, you know, just hanging out in a little space where there's like speakers and you can all do your worst TED Talk impressions. There's lots of opportunities to do silly little things in a way that I think other games like that don't work for me, because it's like the game interrupts that action of just hanging out. Like it gets in the way of you just chilling with your buds and talking about whatever, where this is so much slower paced. It's so, like but it designs you to, it's designed to force you to split off. Like there are times where you need to sort of be in separate spaces and you got to pick who you're going to go do those tasks with. It's a lot more involved, and like there's so much more meaning to the actions. There was a bit where we were like solving a puzzle between two rooms that I was like, oh, this is so smart. The way that the sound muffles when you're in the room and the door's closed, and like, oh, we have to communicate across this space, and one person's got to shout like, hey, this is the shape you're looking for, and then you got to interpret what that means. And it kind of just felt like playing a big outdoor escape room, which I think the whimsical Myst comparison is sort of in the same vein of like, it's just fun to, escape rooms are fun because you can hang out with your friends and doing something where you all get to have like an epiphany moment once every 15-20 minutes is like, that's a really fun time. I think it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing that Big Wow demo with you guys, of course, because it was with you guys, let's be honest, because, you know, we have fun together and we know how to, you know, hang out.
One part that really made me laugh when I was watching back the footage, because like we had footage from all four of us, was me and Jeremy went off on a on a little adventure, and you're laughing because you think it's the part where I said,
I'm just laughing about that being funny.
At one point I was like, I wonder if they're shit talking us, and then I found like Jesse saying like Danny stinks, shouting it into the valley or something at like the exact same moment. But what my favorite part was, there was one stage where you were just hanging out with the PRs and nocaps was like, slightly off to the side, just making sure the button was pressed the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you were actually doing the game. Jesse was just like hanging out.
I forgot. I'm so you would have got over there and been like, is one of those assholes holding the button or what?
Yeah, someone had to be the responsible one.
Yeah, someone had to play the game. Sorry, you were on the point, and I was too busy asking what they had for lunch. I'm sorry.
Exactly, yeah. We were talking about, like, I think one of the PR's copy of Resident Evil turned up late or something like that.
Yeah, Requiem got delayed or something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that
I
sucks.
can't use any of this. And then I was
alright.
just like, somebody press the button. Yeah, what did you make of it, NoCaps? You played a bunch. We all played a chunk of it. Have you played many of these sort of like social co-op-y things?
No, I have not. That was like I remember when they announced this like 2 or 3 years ago. I saw the trailer. I was like, I don't know what this is, but it looks amazing. And then I kind of realized, oh, it's a co-op game, so I'm probably not gonna really be able to play it, like unless I like actively like sought out like a group of people to play it with. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. But so I'm very happy that I was able to play it with a group of cool people. It kind of just. Oh, what were you saying?
No, yeah, I'm in a similar spot where like games like Lethal Company and stuff, I've played it with some of the crew here, but I just don't have like Jeremy always talks about this like little cadre of friends back home he has who he jumps in those games with, and I have mates I play like Valheim with or PUBG and stuff, but we've never done these ones before, and obviously you can't play this solo. But yeah, what did you make of it, like sort of coming in fresh to this weird little subgenre that's gotten really popular on Steam?
Yeah, I think like the big thing that like appealed to me like when I was first watching the trailers is that I'm like, oh, this isn't like procedurally generated like a lot of the other ones are, like run based, like you said. So there's actually like a overarching like story, or like you make progress and like unlock new places and new tools and stuff. So that is something that like I'm really interested in. But it kind of just felt like going on a hike with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, but with like enrichment activities like scattered through it, like what were you saying about the like me pressing the button and Jesse was just like talking with the other people. Like I feel like I had these moments when I was like wanting to like try to take charge and be like, okay guys, like we got to do this, like let's get back on track. But then there's other moments when I was just kind of like following whoever was in the lead and just like not, and just like looking around and like having a good time. So I really like that aspect of it, that you could just kind of go with the flow, or you could just have like, okay, like let's get this done, and everything in between. Yeah,
because there's kind of like in a lot of these other games, there's like an external motivator, like, oh, a baddie turns up, we need to shoot that thing.
Yes,
or,
yeah.
Whereas this is so, like you said, it almost felt like we went on a work weekend, like a bonding weekend. You know,
Yeah,
like a
team
cool
building,
one, like
team
one of those
building.
retreats where they give you like you know, big drinks.
Team build, yeah, especially when Jesse started doing his TEDx talk. But yeah,
you know how to do agile. You want to have a scrum right now? Yeah.
But yeah, there's all these, like Jeremy said as well, there's all these like quiet moments where you're just in between the bits, kind of just like chatting. You know, it's not like you're talking strategy all the time, or you know, how do we solve this situation? And because as you were saying, NoCaps, it's like these authored experiences, you know, where it's like a very distinct puzzle that's been set up, that it's not like you're also doing the same thing every time. Like you're not like, oh, we need to get down to the basement and we need to kill these things. Like once you've done that once or twice, it's sort of like assumed that everyone knows what to do, or it's because each little puzzle was a new thing. So, you know, there was lots of chat about what we're going to do and who's going to do it.
Yeah, I like how you'd go into a situation and like not fully understand like how complex it was going to be or whatever. Like we found those like 4 boxes that opened with the buttons, and then it's like, okay, we need something for this, but then there's like this key thing, and like we didn't quite know, and we kind of got like sidetracked, but like eventually it kind of all came together.
Yeah, it was cool, like collaborating in that way, and it's good. It's a good balance of like giving you stuff to do without kind of being over. It wasn't. We're in the tutorial area as well, we should say. There's probably stuff in there that gets a little bit trickier, but yeah, I guess the last thing I'd mention about it is kind of what Jeremy touched on, which is like the vibe of it just feels really good. Like House games kind of do have a great style to them, great feeling to them. I love the mixture of the ridiculously cartoonish player characters with this like quite vibrant natural world.
Yeah, it's actually gorgeous. I find that contrast really nice. I feel like it kind of is emblematic of the tone of the game, where like you guys were saying, it's you're trying to solve these puzzles, but everyone is kind of like joking around and stuff. So you're every once in a while you're like, all right, can we all like, can everyone pull? It's like being on mushrooms with all your friends, where it's like someone's like walking around, they've been holding like a giant buoy for 6 minutes, and you're like, bro, can you put that down? Because like I know we're all having a fun day, but like the treasure chest is not going to open unless we all fucking climb on each other.
Yeah, the X's for the eyes when one of the PRs disconnected as well and their character died.
Oh yeah, we dragged him out to sea, and then we dragged him out to sea because he died to give him a Viking funeral, and then we walked away, and when we reconnected, he was back, and he's like, yeah, I respawned in the middle of the sea. I don't know what the fuck happened.
That's not where I died.
It was so fucking funny.
It's good stuff. The music is great. The like soundtrack was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the sound effects were silly. Like even the fact that still don't know what they are. Are they pears? Are they dog treat things? The things we're collecting.
The keys or whatever, yeah.
The fact that the vice, they get unlocked via, a lot of them do, are like stuck in vice grips, and a machine sort of opens up the vice. But the first one we found that was in a vice, the vice started to close and like squeeze and deform it first, and then it like reversed. Just like funny little bits like that. Like, you know, it's hard to do humor in games when there's no like characters or dialogue, but the game just like creates fun in like little subtle kind of interesting ways, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of an underexplored thing in games is like emergent humor, because I find that scripted humor is famously, like in any media, ages very poorly. There will occasionally be like a piece of timeless comedy that people remember, but for every, you know, like Airplane or whatever in the 80s.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with what you name as an example of a timeless piece of comedy.
I watched for the very first time Idiocracy about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Now that you've seen it, isn't it every time somebody says, wow, real life is like Idiocracy, you're like, shut up. Like, did you watch the movie?
Yeah, yeah. People weren't as like openly homophobic, I don't think, you know, now as they were in Idiocracy. It was like the amount of certain words we don't say anymore that were being used nonstop. Yeah, lots of, it's a very, also like not great representation of both women or people of color in that.
You really could say anyone.
Maya
honestly.
Rudolph, is that who the
that sounds right? Yeah,
she was in it.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, just like, yeah, it's also like barely a movie. It's like an hour and 15 minutes or something.
And the last 40 minutes is like nothing. Like there's just they were doing the same bit over and over again. Like,
just Terry Crews being hilarious.
Yeah,
like he's pretty good. I liked Terry Crews is great now.
What's the drink that they're? It's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
Yeah, it's got everything you need.
I forget what it's called. Yeah.
Idiocracy juice.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a very Grand Theft Auto. And GTA Online, I think, is a game that has that emergent humor. Like, you know, people, it's sandboxy enough, right? That you can
you get like a little bit of that for free when it's co-op. Just like any virtual space where people are around, people just tend to like, you know, if you're in if you're just hanging out with people at a bar, like someone's gonna crack a joke eventually or whatever. But it did feel like this game was particularly conducive to it with the physicsy stuff and the weird gestural stuff. And I don't know. I feel like that's sort of an underexplored thing. I would like to see more games that are trying to be funny in a way that isn't just writing a script with jokes in it.
Yeah, one of the parts at the start was when we all climbed on top of each other's shoulders, and I was able to get up on this gantry, and then nocaps is like, let's hit him off of it, and you like you kicked or threw a ball, and like in another game the ball would bounce off me, but it did actually knock me off, and then I fell on my ass the whole way down.
Ball.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is fair.
Very bouncy.
But like I fell off, and then I think my character's eyes started to like go. Yeah, I didn't see that in my play, of course, but yeah, that was pretty cool. It was it's a neat little game. Does anyone have any other thoughts on Big Walk before we walk on out of here?
I just think it's nice to have games that are leaning more on that third space aspect. I was talking to my cousin about this because he's like 8 years younger than me, and he's been talking about playing Roblox forever since he was a kid. like even younger. And the thing that he enjoyed about playing Roblox was like, oh, it's cool. I can play whatever with whoever. And we're like, there's no goal in most of these games. It's just walking around an environment, maybe doing something. But like for the most part, it's just a place where we can hang out. We all understand how to do the things and what the controls are. And we can just chill.
Avoid the pedophiles.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That's the gameplay of Roblox.
How many times can I log in before they ban me for lying about my age?
Right.
Like everything like that. It's like, what if there were games that were just premium versions of Roblox games that didn't look like that? Like there are great looking games on Roblox, don't get me wrong. But there's also an opportunity for making stuff like that outside of that space that embraces what about that is appealing to people. And I think Big Walk and Peak and like all of these sort of hangout games are in that same vein. And to me, Big Walk is like the perfect version of that, at least so far, is the best version of that I've seen. I'm excited to see what the rest of the game looks like, especially because there was stuff that we saw in the press demo that was like, what's that? Why is there a hole in this mountain? What's that cave over there? Yeah, I can't wait to see what else there is. And we didn't get any walkie-talkies. I would have liked to see how that worked, but it was cool to hear the echo and yell at each other.
Yeah, I feel like that will be when hopefully Roblox is crumbled and dead and gone, that the legacy it leaves behind will be that it introduced the Roblox generation. I'm so sorry for referring to you guys as that. I apologize.
You're better than that. You're more
everyone. After Gen Z, or
I think that's after the Pepsi generation.
It's between Z and Alpha is Gen Roblox.
Okay.
I hope that the legacy it leaves behind is that it will have introduced a frame of reference, like a cognitive framing for games, as sometimes games can be virtual spaces in the way that like for me, I think a lot of that was. Like I was thinking about AIM last night randomly. I was just like, I took too much tincture and was thinking about AIM as a child, and I had a weird like memory flood back to me of calling it IM, like of like being in elementary school and being like, oh, do you have like IM? And I was like, that's so weird. Why did I fucking remember that?
We used to call it AIM.
Yeah, we called it AIM. Was like
you calling it AIM threw me off. I thought you were describing some sort of language learning.
No,
model.
no.
Like
we called it AIM.
You were thinking about Claude last night. What are you talking about?
But before AIM, I like people were calling it IM, like, and at least in my circle. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I was gonna say is that like that AIM and like early MMOs were sort of that for me. They were like, I was playing a lot of video games at the time, but I grew up playing, like fucking Mario and Donkey Kong Country and stuff, and then having technology be this like non-gamified place to just like experience other people and play early MMOs. And like I don't know, how much of World of Warcraft did you play where you were just jumping around Stormwind or Ironforge?
Yeah, true. Just chatting to people on Vent or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's cool that like I hope the legacy of Roblox is that it introduced that sort of style of gameplay to a younger generation, because I feel like outside of maybe GTA 5, like you said, GTA Online rather, I don't know, I can't think of like any other examples as prominent as like maybe Roblox that are just sort of more about being in a space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That's Big Walk out sometime this year. They don't have a date or anything. I'm sure they'll be teasing all that stuff in the weeks and months ahead. But yeah, definitely 4 thumbs up, 4 wavy hands, thumbs up, 8 hands maybe from us. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all feeling good. We're all feeling good about Big Walk. Good load of fun. Let's move on. Jesse, you got a pair here. Why don't you start with Slay the Spire 2? I mean, this is a sequel to, a very beloved game. Was this in early access for a long
It's in early
time?
access right now. It just dropped in early
so it's
access,
launched
yes.
in early access. Okay.
Yeah.
Already got 16,000, overwhelmingly positive is the rating on the reviews. What do you make of it?
I am stunned by this game. I think Slay the Spire 2 is phenomenal. The feeling of playing Slay the Spire 1, a game that I have played probably like 2,000-ish hours of. Dude, I love this game. And I don't feel ashamed to say that I played 2,000 hours of Slay the Spire, in the same way that I feel ashamed to say I played like 250 hours of Balatro. Yeah, that I feel a little ashamed about. But like Slay the Spire 1, I've played mods for it. Downfall is a great mod for the game. I love that. I think it's a great addition. So I've really kept up with the space. I love playing Slay the Spire. It's still the best roguelite deck builder without a question. The thing is, how do you follow that up? I think a lot of people were thinking like, oh, Slay the Spire 2, there have been other games that have tried to do what Slay the Spire does and they haven't really figured it out. It's like, was that sort of lightning in a bottle, or can you build on that and really do something different? And I mean, the team at Megacrit have just knocked it out of the park. I know this is the early access version of the game. It did launch it, I guess, close to full price. It's like, what, $28, $25, something like that?
Yeah,
$30?
25. It's
25.
Moment, yeah.
The conversion rate's weird. It
Oh,
feels
don't
like
worry. It'll be, in a week. It'll be twice as much as that probably because we get all of our Slay the Spire from the Strait of Hormuz.
from the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, they're
exactly.
pushing it through there. Yeah, it depends on what the gas prices are for them to deliver all the hard drives to Seattle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I picked a great time to upgrade the NAS. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, I do. I needed to buy a graphics card 2 years ago. I made a huge mistake. Yeah, so it feels like a complete game. Like the early access version, apart from the placeholder art that's there, the game feels done. Like it feels better than a lot of games in a similar genre. Obviously, I mean it's the people who have all the money and resources and skills at this point to make a better sequel. But it takes everything that worked about Slay the Spire 1, the same structure. It has the same roguelike, like pick a path, select what you're doing. You know what boss you're gonna fight, prepare for that boss, build out your deck as you would expect from the sequel to Slay the Spire. Nothing has really changed format-wise. In fact, they start the game up and like the opening message, if you don't own Slay the Spire on the platform or you haven't played it in the past, I'm not sure how they check that. I'm not sure if it's always the case. But it says like, it looks like you haven't played Slay the Spire before. Do you want to do the tutorial?
Oh, that's cool.
So they're not even like, do you want to do the tutorial for this game? They're like, we're pretty sure you've probably played Slay the Spire 1. And if you have, you know how to play this. It's all the same stuff. Energy, you get a couple cards in your hand, you play them, you can see what the enemies are going to do. You have as much information as you can need to react. The things that they've built on top of this are really smart. They took a lot of the systems from the original game and they looked at it and sort of said, what can we do about this and make it more interesting? How can we build on this and do fun things with it? With the original classes, like the Ironclad and the Silent are still there, the sort of like shield and sword guy and the like dagger and poison character. Those are still there, but they have new abilities. They have new like strategies that you can build off of. The relics, there's a lot of similar ones, but also they've changed certain things. So like the stat boosts are different. Potions are stronger now, some of them. Some of them are weaker, which I think is like a good change. And then there's these new classes that are so cool. So like there's one called the Regent that lets you spawn a sword that like floats around your character and it gives you a retain card which stays in your hand until you play it, and you can just keep building up the damage of the card every turn.
That's cool.
with these different abilities. It's so smart. It's such an interesting way of doing that, but like obviously
so you
there's
just
other
go
strategies.
One Punch Man right at the end of it or something. Okay.
Exactly. Build up all defense and just get the card really strong and then play it and just do like 1 million damage. And you can build around that, or you can build around other stuff. Like you could see so many build directions so quickly, which I think is a really good indication of if a roguelike game is going to have staying power, is if you can see early on what's going on. But even then, like the way that you unlock upgrades in Slay the Spire 2 is different from the first game, because now there's this epoch timeline they have where when you unlock stuff, it like reveals the narrative of the world of Slay the Spire. Like it starts with the creation of the universe at the beginning of the timeline, and then you see all these characters appear and different chapters in their stories sort of explaining what happened to them, why they are here, why they're, why they look the way they do or don't look the way you remember them, perhaps, stuff like that. But that element of it really like solidifies the narrative of this world that I didn't really think I cared about until now. Like now there's all these new characters. When you get to a different act, there's characters who greet you and like they have a little bit of story to them. All that sort of presentation stuff really makes it feel like just over the moon. I'm over the moon with the way that it looks. It sounds like it's just so good, even compared to the first game. That is probably still one of the best video games I've ever played in my life. The only other thing I mentioned is I think like the smartest thing they did design wise was change the way that the deck sort of the way that you think about the deck, because like in a roguelike deck builder, all your focus is like making combos. Usually in Slay the Spire, it's about thinning your deck and like making sure that you get access to what you're looking for as often as possible, which is, good and important and hard to do. But what they did here is they added a bunch of cards that act as like turn your deck basically into an inventory. So there's stuff that you can pick up that are like quest cards. It'll be, you fight a boss and now you get the option to take a card that stays in your deck. But once you get to the second act or the third act, it'll give you a location on the map that gives you bonus gold if you go there. And then I think the card disappears when you reach it. Or like you can get an egg in your deck. And when you arrive at you've done like a certain number of things, like gone to a certain number of question mark points on the map or whatever, that will make the egg hatch and you get stuff from doing that. Like little things like that are so like just such
like
good
novel
inclusions.
Ideas as well. It's not just they've added stuff that feels fresh and interesting and is
super
just
fresh
taken from some other game or
yeah, totally. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks great. I mean, the original Slay the Spire I remember looking good too. Like was it 2019?
Might have been earlier than that. Was it 2019?
It was a while.
January 2019.
Was that the 1.0?
Was it in early access?
That was
before
1.0,
that,
I
It was
assume.
definitely early access.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the Steam release date, so that's 1.0.
Yeah, so it was probably 2016 or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
that feels
And,
right.
I mean, the game looks good. It's like a Spelunky 1, Spelunky 2 kind of thing, I think.
That's a really good comparison. Yeah, for sure.
It looks great. Animation looks smoother. You know, the type of thing that once you've made a successful game, you can spend the time and the money on, you know, but you don't have that, you know, sort of ability, perhaps on the first one. No caps, Jeremy. Have you played Slay the Spire much? I'm not much to talk about it because I did not play very much of the first one. How about you?
I played a shit ton of Slay the Spire. Yeah, I really liked it. I got super fixated on it for a while, as I tend to do with roguelikes, which is why I'm hesitant to start playing this one until I have a chunk of time free. Maybe
Jeremy's game has got 6 months added to development time.
Sorry, guys, they were delaying it.
It's getting kicked down the road for Slay the Spire. Threw a wrench in the cogs. I love Slay the Spire one.
A wrench in the cogs. I like that one. That's
What's
a good
what's
mixed
the
metaphor.
wait? What's the?
Isn't that
Oh
what
no,
it's
you're
like?
right. It is.
Right,
It's
a wrench in the
cogs.
spanner or something like that.
A
or
spanner
I
in
was
the
going to
works.
say a cog in the. I was going to say a cog in the works, but that doesn't make any sense.
That would be good, depending on what the
Spanner in
works
the
look
works.
like.
That's what I
Spanner
would
in the
say.
works.
Spanner in the
But a
works.
spanner is a wrench, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a whole other kettle of ballparks. Don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah.
We're mixing metaphors. I'm eager to play this. Jesse, I'm curious if you have played this co-op, because that is the strangest thing to me, is imagining Slay the Spire co-op.
Yeah, I saw them reveal that in the last trailer before the game dropped, and I was like, "How do you can't do that?" There are mods that have co-op features in them for Slay the Spire, but they don't function, I think, in exactly the same way as it does in this main game. Basically, it's like two or three. I think you could do up to 4 characters on the same team. I've just played with my wife a little bit. Your characters all do the same damage. You have your hands, you take turns, and then there's like these overlapping co-op cards that give you like different abilities between both the characters. It's really smart, and like there's strategies that you have to consider with the increase in damage that the enemies deal, and like weakness is really strong because it's a full team damage reduction. So it's like if one person plays status debuffs while the other person's playing sort of glass cannon and has, you know, maybe a couple shields as they might need, you can build around that and like play together like you're an RPG party as opposed to.
I was gonna say it sounds like an MMO. That's like a raid.
It's
raid
really,
meta.
Exactly. It
Divinity
feels
or
like that.
something?
Or like a Divinity Original Sin or a Baldur's Gate kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. I'm excited to see how they build on that. And like the array of characters allow for a lot of interesting stuff. Like even if you're not playing in co-op, there's that regent that also has a unit you can summon, but then there's also a necromancer class that has like, or whatever, a necromancer character that can also spawn like a hand that does damage, and like there's other little combos that it has. So even on top of just the player character in single player, there's other units that you don't have to play the turn for them or anything, but you do have to consider their use in combat, which wasn't a thing in Slay the Spire 1. It's cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no caps. You like me? Are you a Slay the Spire newbie?
I played it for like 20 or 30 hours, which is a lot. That's a lot for me. I don't play games for like 100 hours. Like if I can get 20 and that means that I liked it. But it was definitely like I think the first like card-based game I ever played, and I was like, oh, okay, well, card games could be fun. Like I'm still not the most interested in them, but like everything that you described, Jesse, sounds cool. Like especially like with the story and new characters and stuff. Like I really like that kind of thing in a game. Like not just having all combat gameplay like every second, but like having moments that like are not that. But do you think you
It'll
could
be interesting
play
to see if it pulls people in. You know what I mean? Like if you'd be more interested in this one than the former. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be able to play this one for another 2,000 hours? That's the real question.
That is a good question. I part of me feels like I'm a little burnt out on playing roguelike deck builders. I got a win on this in like the 3rd try. Not bragging. I just like, I understand the systems well enough. Yeah, sorry. You know, I keep doing this. It's just, I'm so good at video games.
The god gamer himself.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to say anything too much. Don't look at my achievements on GOG. But I play a lot of these kinds of games. So like, I don't know whether or not there's enough there to really, really hook into me, but I do find myself coming back to Slay the Spire 1, or I did find myself coming back to Slay the Spire 1 a lot, and still sinking like 10, 15 hours whenever I sort of felt the itch. And there are basically 0 games that I'm like, let me go back to that and play it for 10 hours. Yeah, so it has its staying power. Slay the Spire 2, it just feels like better Slay the Spire 1. I kind of don't see any reason to go back to Slay the Spire 1 yet. It's just bigger, there's more stuff, and it's doing a lot of the same things. I don't see any reason to return to it.
Well, if you want to go back to Slay the Spire 1, it is 75% off at the moment until March 18th. So you can pick it up for $6.24 according to Steam at the moment. At least that's in Ameros. Yeah, you can go check that out. Or as Jesse said, Slay the Spire 2, $24.99 on Steam currently, just out of early access. And from
just into early access.
Just into early access. And from roguelike deck builders to showcases that have games like Rogue Light Deck Builder. Thank you. From Gil Lawson. Just a reminder to tell you that Computer Worlds has been, the showcase has been presented over on Noclip 2. You can go check out the full, just shy of 30 minutes presentation, which has a bunch of awesome game trailers in there, some trailers for announced games, new games, lots of games you can wish list, some games you can go buy. There's also the Steam festival page for Computer Worlds. Jesse will graciously put all these links in the show notes. So yeah, just go check out the showcase, wish list some games, maybe buy some games if something appeals to you. Support these games. Like this is it's a weird sort of collaboration cadre of games collection. Other words beginning with C that denote some sort of unity. The whole idea of them is that they don't really fit into a nice little bucket genre together. They're not published by the same publisher, nothing like that. They're all a bunch of indie game dev weirdos who make some cool, exciting shit, the type of stuff that we like to cover on Noclip 2, the type of stuff that nocaps has been covering over on our channel for years. I think like it's the collaboration with them just felt supernatural because half the games that were on there we had literally done indie recs for, and the other half we had looking forward to in 2026 or 2025 in the past. So yeah, it's been fun putting this whole thing together. And we also have a bunch of videos coming up on Noclip 2 over the next week from the crew here based on games that are in Computer Worlds. So keep your eyes peeled for those. They'll be coming out every day or two for the next week. We're all individually working on one that covers one of the games or two of the games. Some of developer interviews, some of them are indie recs, some of them are video essays. We sort of run the gamut on those. So yes, support these awesome games. Computer Worlds, check out the showcase, and head over to the Steam Festival page and see if anything there tickles your particular fancy. Let's go to Jeremy next. Banquet of Fools. You were excited for this one for a while. It's just out. Is it today?
I think it was a few days, like 5 days ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, Banquet for Fools. This is God, where to even begin on this? It's a CRPG, like an indie CRPG. But the particular like flavor and style and aesthetic of it are so singular and bizarre and interesting. It immediately caught my attention. So it's it looks and plays a lot like a CRPG. Like it's pretty familiar in a lot of ways, but it has very meaningful things to specify about each of those elements. So the look of it is it looks like claymation. Like it's not really claymation, but it has this weird like goopy low poly look to it that's kind of like weird and like undulating and breathing. It looks very stop motion-y, claymation-y, and it's utterly striking. The look of it is like, it looks great in trailers, but actually playing it and having your whole screen be this sort of like semi like pre-rendered looking Diablo 2-esque like isometric CRPG, it looks so fucking good. I was constantly just stopping and like admiring how this game looks. I think this to me felt like an alternate universe where instead of the Diablo franchise getting worse, it started getting like more artsy.
Yeah, it feels there's no proxy to it. I can't like say, because claymation to some people, you're right, like that's definitely the window it's in, but like to some people that could be like Judero, right, which looks like or Judero, which looks claymation-y but like very clayey, you know what I mean? Whereas like this is like super refined or detailed, like because my touch point would be something like Jason and the Argonauts. It kind of looks like, but also Jason and the Argonauts isn't claymation. but it does look like claymate. Yeah, so there's no clean bucket to put it in, is there? It really looks very singular.
Yeah, it has a very, and it's not like the Neverhood or anything like that. Like it has its own weird look to it, where it's like beautifully painted, sort of low poly that imitates the feel of claymation, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's like the aesthetic and the world, it just like, I constantly was just stopping and I felt like I was playing like Diablo 2 again for the first time. It had it had this aesthetic to it that it just was so striking to me, that I feel like Diablo 3 and onward lost as it moved away from the weird sort of like pre-rendered computer game ass looking game and into these more like, I mean, I played Diablo 3 on like a PlayStation or something in a living room. It just didn't have the same gravity.
That's a good point. Like games like Command and Conquer and Diablo were sort of punching above their weight graphically because they were able to do all this pre-rendered stuff, right?
Yep.
Like it was like super detailed pixel art, or in a way that other games of that time kind of, like we forget that about C&C. Like of course they had like cutscenes, but like back then that game looked amazing for the time,
For sure. I mean, I think the Diablo 2 remake, remaster, whatever they call it, looks fine. I genuinely prefer the look of the original so much.
Right.
Like when they do those back-to-backs and they're like, this is what it used to look like dog shit, and this is what it looks like now. To me, it's like one of those, it's like a post on Reddit where they're like transformation post and it's like A/B, and I'm like, I don't know which one's before or after, because like it's too ambiguous for me, because I like what anyway. Diablo 2 to me is one of the sort of like pinnacles of game aesthetic to me. It has this roughness to it, this ambiguity that lets your brain sort of fill in the gaps like good pixel art, but it has this refined, pre-rendered, sort of like semi-realistic stylized look to it that looks just like, I don't know, it's like crunchy and weird and haunting and gothic. And this is sort of like that. It's much more visual clarity, obviously. It's very, very like detailed and fully sort of like realized, but it's like, it reminds me a lot of Morrowind, actually.
I was just about to say, because I was watching the trailer and there was a weird like flying creature moving along, and I was like, man, that looks like some Morrowind shit.
Yeah, it's swampy and like mystical, and there's like the magic is based on fungi. All the magic is like
right down your alley.
Spores and roots. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's really interesting, and it's got great world building. There's a sort of intro that onboards you with a little bit of the history, and then it lets you make a party of 4, which is very overwhelming. Having you've played like 30 minutes of the game, and they're like, all right, now make 4 characters from scratch, which. That is one thing that's just like a preference of mine, is I do kind of prefer at RPGs when you meet people, and it's fine if you can sort of define their class, but I like a sort of like subtle on-ramp, whereas this, you play the intro that it's like, all right, now you go from like one person with a couple helpers to like a party of 4 that you've designed from the ground up. Now just like control everyone, do everything. Right. I think that speaks to the thing that I am the least convinced by this game, not because it's lacking in quality, but because I've played a couple hours of it and it feels incredibly deep and complex, which is the combat system. This is not like Diablo 2 where you like click on a thing and your guy starts auto swinging and you do casts. This is more like, it's like Vagrant Story almost. You have a Final Fantasy like ATB bar, like an action bar that fills up. When it's full, you can hold the right button on the mouse and it freezes time. And there's an orb around your character in frozen time that shows your range of your current ability.
Oh, cool.
So if you're like an archer, it'll be a huge orb. If you're like a swordsman, it'll be smaller. And within that orb, you can cast abilities while time is frozen, but then the abilities like play out in real time. And it's also not like a real time with pause CRPG like Tyranny or something. It's different than that. It's more like when you do the ability, it's an instant cast, so it plays out in real time. It's not like you queue it up and it happens like an RTS or whatever. But it's weird and like physicsy. Like if you hit someone, they'll like with a big greatsword, they'll go flying, and they'll like hit other people and they'll stumble. And it feels very chaotic. And I can't tell if I love it or if I'm overwhelmed by it or both yet. I think having 4 characters and someone's like casting fucking magic and there's like spores and there's like arrows shooting across the screen and I'm just like the sword guy. It's like I think I need to give up on the idea that I need to manage the whole thing, and I just need to just kind of like embrace the chaos and throw potions at people when they get hurt and stuff. Because in my mind, I'm like, I need to manage the party. I need to like queue up the caster. I need to get the spells ready. I need to like be the sword guy. I think you just gotta like fucking realize that it's just going to unfold the way it unfolds, and you just have fun in the chaos. So I need a little more time to get my hands to get my hands on with the combat to like understand it more. But I'm having fun with it. It's really cool, and the world is great, and the story is really interesting, and it's gorgeous.
Man, yeah, looks. I've added it to my my cart here on Steam, just from you talking about it and watching some gameplay. And I'm not somebody like I'm not a big CRPG person. You know what I mean? I can. There are a couple of exceptions that I've played and enjoyed, but it's not necessarily my lane. But yeah, it looks like it's doing a bunch of really interesting stuff. You guys got any questions for Jeremy at all before we move on?
It just sounds really fascinating. I'm looking at the screenshots and like, yeah, the look, it's so captivating. It does look like how I remember Baldur's Gate looking in my head, but obviously not how it really looks. Yeah, just great look. I mean, so when you're doing this like rune drawing thing, I'm seeing this in the inventory here of like making spells. How is that like, how involved is that? Is that really just like you pick an effect and then draw whatever, or and you just
is it like some Arx Fatalis shit in here?
Yeah.
So I went to the tree where you design spells, which is there's sort of a spell archetype that you purchase with minerals, and then you can sort of like custom define certain like the duration and certain parameters of it, and then you draw a rune to represent it. I did not have enough currency to buy a custom spell, so I have not used them yet. But I assume like the next time I go back to town might be my first spell unlock or whatever. But yeah, there's like a weird custom. They have like the rune in the screenshot on Steam is like Frog Detective.
Yeah.
That's fun.
They did a frog trap and they drew Frog Detective looking ass frog as the rune. Yeah, I feel like it's CRPGs to me are a genre that I really enjoy, but I sort of more enjoy them thinking about playing them, and then I actually play one, and it's very like sterile, like fantasy, where you go in and they're like, "Ah, my lord, the kingdom has sent word," and it's just I'm like already fucking bored. This to me was immediately like swampy and weird and dark and occult and mysterious, and so I think that goes a long way, just having a tone in a world that stands out among a genre that is otherwise kind of like stuffy old dudes who talk like shitty versions of Deckard Cain, basically, who are just kind of talk about politics.
Yeah, we all hate the English here on this podcast.
Hell yeah.
But we love Deckard Cain.
Sorry to all our English listeners. There's actually quite a lot of you.
Good save.
We're good. All is forgiven. You know what it just came to mind? I've been staring at this graphic art style, trying to figure out like what it is. You know what it feels like? Because the Argonauts thing, it doesn't really look like that at all. But what it's evoking to me is like the delta between like CG effects and practical effects. This game looks practical, you know?
Yeah, that it is. It kind of reminds me of is it Laika, the studio that does the stop motion stuff?
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of like Nightmare Before Christmas stop motion.
Yeah.
It's also like that. It has this maximalism to it that is everything is so like textured and detailed, even though it's stylized and painterly. And this extends to the UI. I think this has maybe the best UI I've seen in a game in like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Take that, Marathon.
It's again, I fucking go look. I defy you to go look at Diablo 2 and the Diablo 2 remake, and you look at the UI and you tell me that it's not a fucking downgrade. I'm sorry. Or
right.
let me fucking hop up on my soapbox. My friends are trying to get me to play WoW Retail right now, and they were like, "Look at this. Here's a screenshot of WoW Retail." Why did they fucking ruined the Elite banner? The Elite banner used to be this cool like dragon that was wrapped around the portrait to show you that this was like a badass guy, and they turned it into like a child's drawing of a dragon that's yellow.
Oh no! That child's going to be very upset, Jeremy.
I'm sure they're compensated very well with the. I'm sure they've
you
got
sure-
a
you sure about
401k matching package.
sure
Yeah,
about
actually,
that?
they probably don't have a job anymore.
Oh, sorry. This just in: the child is an AI child.
Oh, well.
No. I had a comparison, but I'll pull it up by the end of the podcast. I sent it to my friend and was like, "What the fuck are they doing over there, man?"
Love it.
Yeah.
Don't get our YouTube audience started about Demon Souls. don't have to worry about that now.
Oh wait, I got it. Okay, hold on. I have to send this. I'm putting this
You're
in.
gonna share it. You're gonna share it in the Discord or something.
I'll put it in Snapchat. Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, or Jesse, if you can do the honors and stick this in the. Oh God, yeah, that's terrible.
I'm sorry, but the left is the new one and the right is the old one.
Yeah.
Look at all that. I mean, the screenshot is about 4 pixels, but you can, you can interpolate.
Get over it, Grandpa. It looks fine.
Listen, it does not look fine. Your young eyes are into tubes to see.
He called me grandpa on the big walk thing as well.
You
No
guys
Caps
aren't-
is
you
younger
guys aren't
than
older
you.
than-
You're not the first.
No,
you know what I mean?
no. You
You
listen
guys
here.
are all you're all unk to me.
Thank you.
I've never
Thank
said
you
that
for-
in
Hold
my
on a
life.
second. There's only one unk here. Everyone else
that
is just
hurts.
uncle. All right.
That hurts even more because unk is closer to the truth than grandpa is. Oh,
Thank you for
got
taking
that.
Jesse down a peg. He needed
Listen,
to hear that.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Listen here. You can't take me down. I'm always riding high.
I'm
But
young
no,
at heart.
yeah, I get the frustration.
Banquet of Fools available now. There's a demo too you can pick up if you want. Full game is $20 full price, currently $16.99 until March 19th. So you got just under a week to pick it up. There's a deal with the soundtrack as well. How's the music?
It's good. I'm trying to think. It might be one of those things where it was so fitting I didn't really clock it. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Whereas like when we played Big Walk, the soundtrack is like a weird like
Yeah.
like weird vocal shit happening in the background. So it grabs your attention so much. I think this just was like fitting.
Cool. Hannah and Joseph Games. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Joseph. Or the Games family. I'm not sure if that's their surname. That would be great if they're.
That'd be
couple
amazing.
or
I knew a
brother and
guy.
sister.
I knew a guy last name House growing up. My friend's dad who designed houses, and I
Oh,
always
wow.
wondered if it was nominative
Nominative
determinism. Yeah, exactly.
That's like Mike Holmes. Like, brother, come on. Of course you're. Yeah, you know.
The guy who
HGTV
you know that guy who owns like he's got like investments in 2 separate Disco Elysium projects. Like there's 2 separate Disco Elysium spiritual successor projects. His surname is Moolah.
No
come
shit,
on.
really?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
real?
Yeah, for real. It's in episode 6 of the thing. Yeah.
I had a dream one time, and there was a guy in the dream who was like a real estate guy, and his name is usually dream details you forget immediately. This one I'll never forget. His name was Phil Buildings, and, and he sold.
No
I woke up and I was like, I need to like write that down. Phil Buildings is like he's not like
great.
he's not like a dream character. He's like the real like celestial being that I channeled in my
Buildings.
dreams. Phil Buildings.
I was about to say your subconscious is a terrible writer, but actually Phil Buildings is a great.
That's the thing. Is
great,
usually when
man.
you have a dream, it's like me and my friend Rick were on like a boat. That's the whole story. But Phil Buildings is realized.
Incredible. That game was also in early access. It seems like for a while, right? It's just out of
Yes.
early access. Is that what happened?
I'd been holding off on playing it till 1.0 because
Excellent.
it's hard for me to go back to a game once I fall off.
Very, very cool. Yes, that was a Banquet for Fools. Sorry,
Yes.
I think I called it Banquet of Fools numerous times. Did I?
That's all right. And just to clarify, this is not the Dinner for Schmucks sequel.
It's the art house version of Dinner for Schmucks. We love it. From banquets to eggs, which you can have at a banquet. My daughter brought me an egg this morning, no caps, that I can only describe as like feeling like a water balloon. Have you ever seen one of those?
No, I have not.
It was both entrancing and disgusting. It was like the outer shell was like a quarter as thick as it should be. So you could like squeeze it.
Did you like leave it in vinegar overnight or something? How did that
chicken.
happen?
No, just the chicken just put it out wrong. I got a
Wait, you
broken
know
Is
chicken.
the
what?
chicken full of vinegar? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
I
Noka.
did that I did the vinegar thing as like a science, something for school, like science fair, and it like
Nice.
didn't work. Like, I don't know what was supposed to happen. I was
Wow.
supposed to like record it, but like every day, I don't know, but I put a
You
vinegar.
picked like
I
the
put an
easiest
egg.
science project.
I
and
don't
then
even
didn't
remember it though.
Do it right.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
So maybe I have seen an egg like that, but
Well, you've
not
seen
in
lots-
oof. Is that how you say it?
Oof. Oof.
Not-
French for egg. OEUF. Oof. Yeah, tell us. I played a little bit of this as well. You also, did you do a video on your channel about this, or you mentioned it in a video or something? Because you put this on my radar already last year, I think.
I don't think I made a video on it.
Okay, maybe we talked
I don't
about
know.
it on Discord.
I thought you did a
maybe, or
video
something?
about eggs, like egg games. Isn't that in the video?
I did, but that was before this.
Oh, that was before.
But there's
Okay.
definitely
Wow.
another updated egg video to be made because there's like a lot. It's like the frog games that was a thing for like
Right.
a long time. Now there's like egg games.
Yeah,
There's another
Frog
one.
Fractions, Frog Detective, Frogger.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
back
but
in
how
time.
far did you get, Danny?
Not too far. So I only played like maybe 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And it's one of these ones where I'm like, I'm going to get back to this and I'm probably going to play it on Steam Deck. Because I was playing it on my controller. I think I was playing on my controller. I was playing at the PC anyway. Yeah, this game gets hard quick.
Mm-hmm.
That was my experience. So describe it. It's like a puzzle platformer where you're controlling an egg. Is that the easiest way of saying it?
Yeah, it's like a 3D kind of rage platformer, but there are checkpoints, which like is necessary for me. I don't think I would have quit a long time ago if there were no checkpoints, but they're like just far enough away that it's like you have to kind of work for it. But then when you get there and like save, then it feels so good. You can like breathe for like 1 second before getting into whatever the next crazy thing is. But yeah, it's really simple. It's just you roll and then you jump, and the egg like feels really like realistic. Like it's heavier at the bottom, like where it's wider. So like when you're rolling on your side, you're not going in a straight line. You're kind of like curving off to the side. So you have to like balance that. And then like depending on how you're positioned when you jump, you can get like different heights and stuff. And
Yeah, you can sort of like use the tip of the egg to like lever yourself. I found that to be novel and interesting. And also like whenever I was stuck on a tiny platform and my egg was like at the wrong 90-degree angle, I was like, oh fuck, how am I supposed to, you're sort of like embarrassingly shimmying it around trying to get
you're
it
like if you
facing
try
the
to
right way.
jump and like move, but it doesn't like work the way you want it to. But I
Yeah.
love how it's like really chill for a like kind of rage game. Like it's just raining the whole time. It's like this dark like castle area that you could just like hang out in. But then you're also like stressed the whole like trying to make it like across this like tiny bridge, and you have to like jump over to the tree. But it's definitely like something that I feel like I would like just work on in little chunks. Like we like practice this one part and then get to a save and then like have to quit it and then come back and then like get a little bit further.
Yeah, that was my feeling too, was like you said, the checkpoints are like 40% too far for you to play it easily, I guess. It's like
It's not like a comfortable distance. It's like you
Yeah.
have to like kind of keep on your toes.
It was like bonfires in Dark Souls is how it, and it kind of has like a Demon Souls-y Dark Souls.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
There's like the color palette and the like little titles that pop up when you enter areas, and the sort of like rainy castles feels like a weird Dark Souls adjacent. It's like a Dark Souls it's in the same canonical universe as
Yeah,
Dark Souls.
it's like an
like
abandoned
Dark
FromSoft
Souls-
game on PS2 that they never bothered to finish, but someone found a level file for, and they were like, "What if I just put an egg in here? Would that work?"
But then it's
Can we
also
make a game?
Minecraft.
It is a little
yes,
Minecraft
yeah, you're
too.
right. Yeah, totally.
That was one of my points. Like some of the textures, like there's this like one gravel, like it looks exactly like the Minecraft gravel texture, and like the wooden planks. It's like
The wooden
so similar.
planks, 100%. Yeah. And, so I've seen videos of this in co-op as well. You can play multiplayer.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Have we?
There's
neither
like
of us
there's
did,
also
though,
like
right?
community now. There's like community maps and stuff, like
cool.
obstacle courses that people have made. If you beat the game and you want more egg game, then
If you're a psychopath. Yeah, but it doesn't have that, like this isn't like Cat Mario. Like it's not freaking you out with its intimidation. It is weirdly, like, relaxing, I guess, or I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's like
Yeah,
a
something
placid
like that.
sort of difficulty. Yeah, it's a cool little game. Oeuf, you guys got any questions about Oeuf?
I think it's cool that there's so many egg games about maneuvering the egg and like thinking about the physics of it. Like egging on is very
Egging
similar
on.
to this. a
that
lot
was
more
one that I
specific,
talked
though.
about. Yeah.
Okay.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
They definitely feel different. Like
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
egging on is like it feels like you're lighter. Like feel like you can jump higher and you're a little bit more like acrobatic. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot more physics based, where this one feels less physics based and more like like it's more, there's more, I don't know what the word is, deterministic, I guess. Like it's, you know what's going to happen. If you're on the tip in egging on, you have to like consider the momentum of it and everything. I didn't feel like Oeuf was really that particular about everything you were doing, but there was still some particularity there, which was nice. Yeah, I think tone-wise, actually, it's funny to think about this versus egging on, because egging on is like, I liked it well enough, but it does the narrator thing where like every time you fall, it's like, don't worry, Egg, you can get up, you can do anything. And Oeuf is just like, good luck, like just drops you in and is like, it's somber and kind of sad, and the rain makes you feel like you're in an Evanescence video, but like it's chill and you're just jumping around as an egg, and it's like not annoying at all. It's weird. It's like Stanley Parable versus Dark Souls egg jumping. It's very strange.
Yeah, egging on looks really good as well. It's like very well polished, but there's to me that's more of a like egging on is the sort of like it's like one of those climbing games, right? Yeah. It's like the threat goes up because you're getting higher, right?
Yeah, the risk increases.
Yeah, like only up or getting over it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's more one of those. This almost feels like just like a bunch of puzzles, but they've just made them linear. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like these could be distinct levels to a certain extent, because there is looping back and stuff like that, and sort of shortcuts. At least
well, it kind of makes sense since they also made Steven Sausage Roll. Like
is this the same team?
I guess
Steven
we
Sausage
didn't
Rolls?
mention that. I was going to mention that, but yeah.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
Now I need
make a
to-
lot
And
of sense.
visually, like you can see a lot of like similarities, I guess, and like the blocky style and just like the weird, like kind of liminal, like what's going on in this world? Why is it like the apocalypse? Maybe, but chill.
Yeah, whereas the other one, what's it called again?
Egging on.
Is very like sort of literal. You know, you're an egg in a cartoon world. Yeah, there's like some weird subtext going on here.
That's Steam related recommendations between the two are sort of like a funny contrast or comparison, where Egging On was Portal and Baby Steps are related games, whereas Oeuf is White Knuckle and Cairn.
Oh, that's
wow.
funny.
Hey, that's perfect.
I feel like that explains it well, actually.
There are two types of gamer, you know.
Yeah.
Which way, Western man?
Yeah. That's neat. There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, what are they going to do next then? They got sausage rolls and eggs. What else do you need on the plate?
You got to do an English muffin, right?
Toast.
Toast.
English muffin. Yeah. What about I was going to say pancakes, but no, you're right. English muffin kind of is more interesting because it's not a sausage,
like roll.
it's a sausage roll. Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. It's a good shape.
Balance, like
yeah.
And bread got done, right? Iron bread was like one of the early ones, right?
Oh yeah, true.
I think one of the first things you have to do in that is turn yourself into toast. So I think that's like literally the first.
You have to like burn yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to. I think so. Do you have to get in a toaster? I forget. Who knows? Oeuf! Available now on Steam. Oeuf! You just put in the Roblox and the sound there.
You got it.
Available
DMCA.
now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tallarico will be at my door in a second. $8.99 at the moment. It's 10% off. It's $10 usually. You can pick it up for that 10% off before March 17th, which is this coming Tuesday. It's also St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, St. Patrick, for chasing all the eggs out of Ireland. I'm going to quickly talk about Poker Night at the Inventory. So this is, has anyone here played Poker Night at the Inventory?
No, sir.
Nope.
Is this the same one from a long time
ago? Yeah.
It is.
Okay, then yeah, a little bit.
It was a Telltale game, right? Back in the day. I think it was Telltale in the original one.
Who's the developer of the new one?
What'd you say?
Who's the developer of this one?
Do you want me to say the name of the studio? It's Skunk Ape Games.
Skunk Ape is just a very
Skunk
funny...
Ape. That makes more sense. I was saying Skunk Ape. Skunk Ape.
Isn't Skunk
they did
Ape...
the Sam and Max remasters too.
Skunk Ape is a bunch of people who used to work at Telltale.
Right, but isn't a skunk ape like a cryptid? I'm trying to remember why I've heard that before.
Like the Mothman?
It's like a Florida Bigfoot, isn't it?
Oh.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got the rights to a couple of things over the past few years. I won't name names. I know some of these people personally, but it's a collection of people who used to work at Telltale, and they've been sort of getting some of the games that weren't available anymore online again. So Sam and Max, they started with Save the World back in 2020. They got Beyond Time and Space up, a bunch of them. I think the last one they did was... The Devil's Playhouse in 2024. So this is Poker Night at the Inventory. It is basically a re-release I would say like an update of the original game that came out. God, when did Poker Night come out? Like 2009 something. It was like a long time ago. 2010 it looks like, according to Steam. It's basically what Poker Night is it's a game where you sit down and play poker. You play Texas Hold'em, but the characters you're playing against are characters from other types of media. So in Poker Night at the Inventory, it was the Heavy from Team Fortress 2, Strong Bad from, what was the name of that?
Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner, thank you. Sam, the bunny from Sam and Max. Sorry, no, yeah, Sam. No, is that Max? It's Max. That's Max. Yeah, that's Max. And Tycho from Penny Arcade also in there as well.
What an odd fucking collection of characters.
No, you know what? Makes perfect sense. They're all little rascals, including the Heavy.
They're definitely all like, I feel like a certain like generation of internet man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Consumed these particular properties, I feel like. Yeah, it's very like 2008 pilled game, guy gamer kind of shit. Because the second one had like Sam from Sam and Max was in it, Brock from Venture Bros, Ash from Army of Darkness, Claptrap was in it.
That one sucks.
And I think the writing on Claptrap in that one is actually really good.
Oh, okay, good.
In Poker Night. And Gladys from Portal was in it too. Specifically, I think the Portal 2 model, I think. But yeah, so the game, I mean, it's Texas Hold'em. You're playing Texas Hold'em. You're playing, you're calling, you're betting, you're raising, you're doing blinds. People run out of money and they leave the table and they start hanging out in the back bar. The whole thing takes place in a bar called the Inventory, which is where a bunch of like gamer and cartoon people go hang out. And this is like just like a little poker game that they're doing. And the fun thing about it is it's basically Texas Hold'em, but like the characters all are well animated and chat to each other and like come out with jokes and quips and things like that. Some of them are really good at bluffing. Some of them are terrible at bluffing. You sort of, as you play the game, learn their tells and what they're good and bad at and stuff. There's some funny like moments. Like I remember there was one, I haven't seen it since I've been replaying it, but like where when the Heavy loses, he like turns over the table and starts shooting his minigun at everything. And they've back and forth. You can turn up and down the banter because they'll like tell these stories and things. You'll start to hear the stories again and stuff, but like I love this game because it was how I learned Texas Hold'em. I did not know poker or anything prior to playing these games in 2009, I guess. And it was a really like safe way, like a safe space to learn poker. Because, we've talked about like, me and nocaps not playing a lot of games that involve like getting a group together. It was the same with poker where it was like the nerves of being bad at poker in front of poker people just seemed like the threshold to learning poker was too high for me.
You don't want to let your uncle with a gambling addiction down.
Yeah. I don't need that, and there is a lot of like sort of, I don't know, over masculinity shit when it comes to poker and like bravado because you're all like, all that stuff. So I was like, it's not for me. Whereas like this was actually like a really cool way to experience Texas Hold'em and like especially knowing when to bluff because like, bluffing is hard in real life, but bluffing in a game is like, I got fuck all here, but like, whatever. Let's see, like Max is terrible at bluffing. So I'm gonna just like go all in with him and he'll be like, all right, so it's I enjoyed it. And the remake, it looks better. The sound, the loading time at the start was a bit much. Maybe they're patching some stuff, but apart from that, like once you're in the game, probably because there's like no loading games in the actual game itself, no loading times. But yeah, you can like skip if you fold, you can skip to the next round, and it'll sort of cleverly show you what happened. And there are a bit of like tool tips at the start if you don't know how poker works, but they'd also like talk to you and tell you things, and there's a narrator that sort of suggests stuff and reminds you of things. It's a really well produced game, and I'm delighted to have an excuse to play it again, and it's great that it's here, and I think it'll be good on a Steam Deck as well.
It's funny you said it looks better, and I do agree. But there's a comparison screenshot on the Steam page between the 2010 original and the 2026 remaster. It looks exactly the same, except for like the lighting and colors, but like the models look roughly the same. Yeah, and the Heavy looks exactly the same. It's pretty funny. I'd
say the resolution, like when you're playing it on a full screen, it looks sharper than because I went back and watched some videos because I was trying to tell how much got done. Like they did, I don't know if like how much retexturing or anything, but I think it runs at higher resolution. The lighting is definitely better. But yeah, you're right. This is not like a remaster or anything, right? This is them getting it working again, adding in some quality of life stuff and modern affordances.
What are the are there any like cultural references that they maintained that feel a little dated? Not like, oh wow, I can't believe they said that, I'm tugging on my collar. But like I see they're doing shutter shades in the original version.
Oh,
or in
yeah,
this
yeah,
version,
yeah.
at least.
That's
Is
a
that,
strong
like,
bad reference, I think.
Yes.
Or is it a Kanye West reference?
I think
it's a strong bad thing.
Is it strong bad
thing.
before
Yeah, it
Kanye?
was.
Did Kanye rip off Homestar Runner? Is that what that is?
Kanye rips off fucking everyone.
I guess so, but that
That's
just
his
seems
thing.
so
He
strange to
stole
me.
all
That's
Shia
where he
LaBeouf's
got
clothes.
Yeah, stole shot and Aphex Twin's piano music.
There you go. Yep. Among other things. The under the shutter shades, it also says Dangeresque 2, which is a strong bad reference as well.
Okay.
Oh wow! All right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't remember the humor in it being like very of the. I'm sure it was of the era, just by virtue of the style of humor, like the jokes they're telling. But like the actual content of them was, it's all quippy, fun stuff. And most of the people who put this together, are like narrative team people. So I always remember both games being funny. Like they had funny lines. Like it's the people who wrote Sam and Max, so they know how to do quips. There's like things you can do, like I forget it. There's like items you can collect. Like every once in a while somebody will run out of money, but they'll put up their like, I think the heavy puts up his gun at one stage as collateral. When he goes all in or something, and then you can collect those and they give you stuff. I think this is originally how I got like the AirPods on my Team Fortress account I got from playing on Mac, but I think there was some items you could get for Team Fortress by playing this game. I think. I can't remember. Maybe the watch, something like that.
Wait, AirPods?
I have AirPods, like wired AirPods.
Yeah.
Oh, those aren't AirPods then.
As
They're
a
just
hat.
earbuds.
Oh,
Yeah.
What are they called? Earpods?
They're just like earbuds.
Earbuds.
Headphones.
Wireless.
Okay, cool. No, I
Double
was
headphones.
seeing if there was like
Sorry.
Apple brand integration here that I was.
No.
Yeah.
No, in Team Fortress, I have a pair of Apple wired earphones because I played it on Mac the first week it came out, and they became super rare. And I would have people in my fucking my inbox all the time asking to buy them because of the Steam marketplace stuff. So
You know what's
I
weird?
don't know if they're worth anything now, but
Now that you're mentioning Team Fortress, when we were talking about Slay the Spire, I went to look up how many hours I had played, and in my mind, I have like 400,000 hours on Team Fortress 2 for some reason, but I only have like 100 hours, which is
Weird, isn't
I
it?
feel like that felt like way. I mean, that's a lot for me. I usually don't play games that much, unless like I have like 80 on Sekiro, and that's like a shit ton. But I
don't know when they started counting the hours, because they definitely didn't from the start.
That's a really good point. Actually,
Because like my Half-Life 2 numbers were like really low, and I was like, what the fuck?
that's a really good point.
Played this game like 8 times the whole way through.
Okay, that makes way more sense because I was like, was it just like a being young thing where summer feels like forever? I couldn't tell. Also, as an aside, you said you learned poker late. I had the opposite experience where I was obsessed with cards as a child, and I ran a poker ring in my 3rd grade classroom during recess. And I got in trouble, and my teacher, Mrs. Shute, pulled me. Her name was Mrs. Shute. Pulled me aside and was like, "You can't be like gambling your children." And I was like, well, what if it's not gambling? What if it's chancing? And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
I was like, well, it's not really. We're practicing like math skills and probability. And she was like, okay, if you don't gamble for anything real, and I'll fucking turn a blind eye. So I ran. People would gamble for like snacks and like bits of their lunch and stuff, and ran.
That's real.
Snacks are real, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, but
No, it's just funny that she's like, not money, just things that cost money.
well, yeah. I didn't say I heeded her warning.
Well,
I just
of
said that
course,
she
no.
said it.
That's amazing. Fair play.
Yeah, but I played a
Like that
shit ton
Jane
of
boy
poker.
is gonna grow up to be a criminal.
Probably. That is probably what you thought. Yeah, no, I played so much fucking. We used to do like tournaments in high school for, like at the time, like a couple $100 on the line for everyone playing like a tournament was a
Jeez.
shit ton of money. It got heated. I as an adult, I feel like I got gambling out of my system. I feel like I smoked 100 cigarettes or like Bobby Hill, and now I can't smoke cigarettes anymore.
Oh my lord. March 2009 is when they started tracking hours played, apparently on Steam. So there you go. So yeah, Team Fortress would have been 2006 TF2, I think. Orange Box was 08. So TF2 on PC, I think, was 2006, maybe 2007. So a few years. Your good years were over there. You don't have your CS 1.6 errors are probably pitifully low. Just all the capture you did for that documentary on Dust 2. Cool beans. That's Poker Night at the Inventory. You can pick it up for $10 over on Steam. Would you believe it? Yeah, from the good people at Skunk Ape. And we have one more game this week. Pokemon Pokopia. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, Pokopia.
Cornucopia, Pokopia.
Tomato.
Everyone's talking about this thing. What is it? It's a Pokemon game. Aren't you a Digimon guy? What happened?
I am. I committed the cardinal digi-sin, and I crossed the aisle, and I'm over here in Pokemon land. So here's the thing. I don't give a shit about Pokemon. And not like from my camp is Digimon related. I always tried to get into Pokemon, and I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just needed to get into it when I was younger. I watched the movie a lot, like Pokemon 2000 I watched a couple times. Entei is cool. I like the unknown. That's a cool idea for a Pokemon. But this one I was interested in for two reasons. One, they showed the original trailer, and it is a Ditto appearing in a magical Minecraft world, and then they can copy other Pokemon's powers, and the Ditto looks like a human, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is it Animal Crossing? Pick a lane. And then Nintendo was like, yeah, putting their weight behind it, really marketing the game, really putting it out there. And like, if Nintendo was doing something weird and really marketing it, that probably means it's good, usually. Like, or at least worth checking out. Because if it's, they don't tend to go strange. They tend to go pretty conservative and safe on most of their stuff.
Yeah.
So this one was exciting for me for that reason alone. I was like, maybe this will be the thing that gets me interested in Pokemon. And you know what? I absolutely adore Pokemon Pokopia. I think this is like the most fun I've had with one of these kinds of games in a long time. So this is developed, I think, in part by the team that worked on Dragon Quest Builders, the sort of Minecraft style Dragon Quest game where you can build towns and houses and buildings and furniture and like design things as you wish. And then there's also missions and quests and stuff to do and like NPCs you can talk to and build relationships with. And Pokemon Pokopia has a similar structure in that you are collecting resources, building stuff. It's not unlike Minecraft. It's not unlike Animal Crossing. You have interiors that you can decorate with different furniture that you build with resources that you find around the world. There are like trees you can cut down and stones you can pick up, things like that. You can break blocks, but like the way that you do those things isn't like you just punch them with your, well, I guess you do punch them with your fists, but you don't just start out punching them with your fists or like build a, a wooden axe right away. You get Pokemon powers that your player character, who is a Ditto, can copy from the other Pokemon. So like you'll meet.
Is that something Dittos can do already? I know.
Yeah,
Ditto's
whole thing is that they do the thing that the other Pokemon do.
Okay.
And like copy their look and abilities, but they get like a derpy little face. They get a derpy little Ditto face. So it's cute. But
so they're like the cultural appropriatism Pokemon.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, there was a point where they probably copied Mr. Mime, like the early designs of it, and they looked like they were doing a minstrel face. Yeah, or Jinx. Sorry, Jinx, not Mr. Mime. You got it right. See, fake fan. I don't know anything about Pokemon. It's all cultural
Digimon
references.
That was called the racist Mon.
Yeah, basically.
Minstrel Mon. Yeah.
Minstrel Mon. I love that. Yeah. No, that would be a Digimon. So this, the way that you get those abilities is from meeting the other Pokemon, and like you can only get some of them over time. So you start with like you can make grass come out of the ground, or like you can cut stuff, you can spew water, and it's all functionally, it makes sense. Like it's a good pacing to make sure that you get these abilities over time. But the way that you get the Pokemon to appear is the thing that makes the game really interesting. So it's not just like you're walking around this big world and there's a ton of Pokemon. The story setup is that you appear in a cave with I don't remember what the professor Pokemon is called, but like this big, hairy, sheepdog looking ass Pokemon. And you just like interact with them. There's a Pokedex, you pick it up, and it's like, I don't know, there's no more Pokemon in the world or humans. It's just you and me. I don't know. And then you go, yeah, dude, it's weird. You go outside and you like build, or you start spewing water because you meet a Squirtle, and that's like the one thing you meet at the start. You get its ability, you start spewing water, and then you learn that the way that you make other Pokemon appear is you have to build specific setups of resources in the world. So like 4 plots of grass can count as a
oh
home
my God,
for Pokemon.
Made Viva Pinata.
Yes,
This is
it is
Viva
Pinata pill, dude. It's Viva Pinata.
Wow,
it's
get
fucking
your
Dragon Quest Builders.
Fudge Hog is back, baby. Let's
That's
go.
right. Dude, man, I'm so glad this game connected for you in that same way. Someone described it like that, and I was like, I was already in. Now I'm all the way in. Viva Pinata forever. So like you do that, or like sometimes it's actual furniture that you have. Like one of them early on, there's a fighting type Pokemon that you unlock, Hitmonchan, I think is his name, or Hitmonchamp or something like that. You put a punching bag next to a bench, and then he just like shows up at some point.
Awesome.
It's great. That puzzle aspect of like figuring out how to make them appear. Sometimes you get a hint that will tell you roughly the shape you need to make, or like someone will be like, oh, I'm tired. I wish there was a shade behind this patch of grass. And like, oh, what if I put a tree here? Oh, that makes something spawn. Great. It's a fun
you're
way
catching
of doing
them
it.
all, but instead of like sort of a cockfighting style,
Yes.
capturing them and putting them in servitude, you're just like you're I guess you're a landlord. Are they paying rent? You're, like,
No, I mean,
making a
I
nice
do.
place for them.
I do put them into indentured servitude, and they are forced to, build things for me at my request. But it's okay. It's all friendly. They love me for doing it, and they praise me, and they give me gifts. Don't look into it too hard.
The land that they're working on, Jesse.
Well, I mean, yeah. If I want to kick them out, that's what they get. It's not my fault. That's how the game's set up. Actually, it's funny. The building stuff is like you assign Pokemon to build buildings, and like the Pokemon have different traits. So like you have one that's good at building, or one that's good at demolition, or whatever, and you can assign a location to be like, this is where I'm going to build the Pokemon Center or whatever. And you have to have a certain kind of Pokemon that can get it set up and build all that. But when you're doing it, it takes actual real life time to build the structure. It's not just like, you wait 30 seconds. It'll be like in 16 minutes, this will be done.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
It's an idle game. No caps is on board.
See, stuff like that, though, usually bugs me. But here it works because it's like, okay, well, these two Pokemon are off doing their thing. I'm going to go into a cave and like look for something, or go get some resources or whatever.
Cool.
Because in idle games where they do that stuff, it's usually like, oh, well, I've done everything. Everything's queued up. Now I'm just waiting. But this is like, there's so many things to do. And in Dragon Quest Builders style, a game that I haven't really played that much of, but I played probably like 15 hours of Dragon Quest Builders 2. They're always introducing new stuff. Like there's tons of new, I don't want to get too into it because people should play it on their own. I think it's a great game. But like there's so many mechanics that just open up over time, ways that you interact with the Pokemon that I weren't expecting. Like there's parties and like funny stuff, character interactions where they like come up to me and they're like, hey, I named my character Jesse because I'm boring, but they're like, hi, Jesse. I like that, Jesse. I'm going to stop calling you Ditto. It makes me feel like we're more friends. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't do this to me. I'm going to fall in love with you, and we're going to have to hang out every day. I'm going to bring you on adventures. Just designing, building, exploring, everything feels awesome, sounds awesome, looks awesome. It turns out the Pokemon games are good, and maybe I should play more of them, but I'm digging this one. I can't wait for them to make Digi-Copia. I'll play the hell out of that.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, but Bandai Namco's got money. They could do it.
I'm getting my wires crossed because earlier Nocaps was mentioning Minecraft with Oeuf, but did you mention Minecraft while explaining this?
With this, yes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And it does have that aspect to it. Like
even
the
the head of water comes down.
Yeah, it looks very similar.
Very Minecrafty. Yeah.
Yeah, the sort of block dropping look to it. And you can like destroy the environment in the same way. Like you can break blocks and stuff. Actually, it's funny. You get it from the punching Pokemon, and you punch the blocks to break them. Perfect. I didn't need to get a pickaxe tool with the Pokemon. I just want to punch them.
Does every Pokemon you get have like an ability that you can
so
mimic?
far, I haven't got them from everybody. Like I want Charizards so I could burn things, but I haven't gotten that yet.
But like if you pick up Klefki, the key Pokemon, like I guess that could open a door or something. Maybe. But like Vanillite, the fucking ice cream Pokemon, you know what I mean? Like what's that going to do?
It turns you into ice cream. You're delicious.
Yeah, but then what are you going to do with that?
It'll be like that scene in Marty Supreme. Everyone just comes over and licks you.
Not seen that. Now I don't know if I want to.
That sounds
you should.
questionable.
It's a great scene. It's the best scene in the whole movie. Pokemon Pokopia. It's a great game. Pokemon will come lick you if you get the right abilities. No. I think it's very fun. It's the kind of game that I didn't think I was going to like as much as I did, because I don't really get into Animal Crossing and stuff. It's like just having missions, having a structure to it that encourages you to go do things outside of your own desire for exploration and your imagination, your ability to decorate. If you aren't the kind of person inclined to do that stuff on your own, it gives you enough things to encourage you to go do stuff if you get bored of placing furniture in the right direction, which I really appreciated. Yeah, I dig it a lot. It's fun.
I think it's cool to see a Pokemon game that isn't just, like collecting monsters to do turn-based battle against each other. I think even as I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I loved Pokemon Red when I played it as a kid, and, up to like Pokemon Stadium or whatever. But I have not kept up with Pokemon at all. But I've always thought it was a very rich world of like interesting, colorful, bizarre little characters. But yeah, I don't know, something about just like collecting them and making them fight. It feels like it's been done so many fucking times.
Yeah, and like Pokemon Snap, I think, is in that same vein of like,
Yes.
what if we found
Yes.
interesting ways for these creatures to interact with each other or exist in the world on their own? And even the narrative of Pokemon Pokopia, it's very subtle so far at the beginning. But there's this like underlying feeling of like the Pokemon needing a trainer in some weird way. I don't know what they're getting at. I need to see more of
Savages need to be taught how to live.
But it's like the Ditto copies the trainer, and they're all like, "Oh, great, there's a trainer. We can hang." And like, we actually like having a trainer. It's nice. And I'm like, I don't know what we're getting at here. I don't know what the point is. I need to see what we're doing with this human narrative that's like lingering in the background. But it's. I bet it'll inspire a lot of annoying video essays that are either really smart or far too long and have a bunch of sponsorships in
Pseudo-intellectual.
them. Yeah.
Speaking of Pokemon Snap, this has nothing to do with Noclip, like us Noclip, but have you guys ever seen noclip.website?
Dude, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's great.
Yes, all the
Super
time.
cool.
Have you ever looked at the Pokemon Snap one of it? Because it
I
has.
don't think so.
I'll put it in.
This is a website that basically allows you to sort of like explore levels in lots and lots and lots of games, like just kind of as you will, no clip through them, but on your web browser. It's super
sponsored.
cool.
So if you go to that one, it has, you're like throwing apples in Pokeballs. So it actually has the interactivity of Pokemon Snap built into
cool.
the viewer. So it is sort of like you're no clipping around, but also you can, all the interactions you missed every time when you're actually playing Pokemon Snap, where you have to like hit Slowpoke with the apple or whatever, you can just no clip around and do. It's very cute.
This is great. Somebody else should make a Pokemon Snap style game, but like good.
It would be
Pokemon
hard
Snap's
unless you had like, because Pokemon Snap, the appeal is like the gameplay is fun, but it being like cute little characters is so much of the appeal. You'd have to have a really strong visual identity for it.
I feel like that happens a lot when somebody else tries to make a Nintendo game, like a game like something that Nintendo would make or has made in the past. And it's always like our version of it, but our characters aren't as good. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It turns out that is actually a really important part of it.
Isn't that what Panko Park is like? Is this the one where you like take pictures, right?
yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
Snap, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panko Park. It's like a little
Panko Park.
creepy,
Oh, yes!
cute monster thing.
Oh, I didn't realize
Oh,
that's what this
yeah.
was.
I've never played this. This looks cute.
I also feel like kind of like I don't know, Bug Snacks gives me a little bit of that
Bug
vibe
Snacks,
as well.
yeah, it's
There's
in the
definitely
same sort
some
of vein. Yeah.
Pokemon kind of thing. Is Panko Park this is out, is it?
Oh yeah, this is years old.
Oh, a long time ago. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, or
I
like
like
art
the look
style.
of this game. This is cool.
or Umurangi generation is, I
That's-
guess, technically related.
I'm sure
as
there's
well.
a million
Right.
hunting games I could play where I just take pictures of actual animals and just that's close enough. Real deer are cute too.
Man, this studio, Ghost Butter, makes some cool shit. I'm gonna check some of this out. Yeah, and Pokemon Go was the game that I played the most Pokemon of.
Really?
That's a great. I mean, it's still collecting stuff, but like from a gameplay perspective, it's such a different, experience. Like walking around the real world and all the social stuff. I remember being back home in Ireland and like the lads all going like, "Oh my god, like a Snorlax spawned over by the school." You know what I mean? And we all jumped in a car and drove over there so we could get the Snorlax. Or I think I was away in Europe and there was like a special Pokemon that was only available in Europe for a while or something. Like, yeah, I think they did a great job with that. But it is interesting how at least they're doing it. Like they're making their sort of tried and true Pokemons here and there, but at least they are, housing this. This is Namco Bandai, is it? Or who is it?
No, this is Koei Tecmo.
Sorry, Koei Tecmo, the other one. Koei Tecmo.
The other one with two names, yeah.
So that, it's cool. I think that they're not as precious with it as Nintendo are with a lot of other, properties.
Yeah.
So there you go.
To be specific, by the way, the developer Omega Force under Koei Tecmo.
Okay, Omega Force, very good. Even cooler that it's probably if not a subsidiary, a partner maybe of them. So that's pretty cool. Justify your switch to today with Pokemon Pokopia $69.99. Jesse, how are we feeling it?
Nice. Yeah, I mean.
Oh no, I was just saying from a cost perspective.
Oh, I thought you were doing a 69 joke. Finally, that's the funny one, not 67. Yeah. You know what? Price, it's fine. It's okay. I didn't do the hands. Price wise, yeah, I mean, it sucks. I'm not happy to, especially because up here I think I came to 113 with tax.
Jesus.
Yeah, brother. I'm like, there's a reason I don't buy brand new AAA video games anymore, especially when part of our job is sort of talking about games. I'm not doing that unless I really think it's going to be cool, and this one really appealed to me. It's nice to have another game to play on my Switch too. There's a lot of stuff, but this is the second thing to appeal to me after Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I was willing to put the money down. And hey, you know what? It's a great paternity game. I don't have to worry about timing or anything. You'll walk around, you explore the world, and when the baby cries, it's okay to stand up and leave it there.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's all babies want. It's just for you to put the bench in the right spot and
I'll do it.
Get them to work. Pokemon Pokopia from Omega Force and Game Freak.
Omega Force made fucking
studio.
Winback. Do you guys remember Winback?
Operation Winback?
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
really?
Wasn't that the first game with cover?
I think it was the first cover shooter. I loved that game as a kid. I don't even think it's a good game, but I don't know. I just played
love
so
its
much
name.
of it. Operation Winback.
Winback. It's
Yeah.
it feels, now this makes sense because it does feel a little bit like somebody saying something who isn't a native English speaker. You know what
I
mean?
wonder what the title is in Japanese.
Like Operation get Victory, get prize, win back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's a classic. I think everyone should go play Operation Winback.
All right.
Great name. We were making some weird ass sounding games back then, like Siphon Filter.
yeah.
Operation Win Back.
Oh, originally spelled Winback. This is the Winbaku.
Okay.
So it's
sounds
just
cool.
Winback.
That's just Winback, yeah.
It does sound cooler. I feel like it has
What does
the
Win Baku mean?
Winbaku. It probably just means Winback.
Win
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, I feel like it's you know how when you watch a movie in Japanese you can't tell if the acting is good
Yes.
because you're like, oh, everyone's acting the fuck out of this role because I can't
Yeah.
understand
Dude,
the
they're
nuances.
yelling so much.
I feel like this is
Yeah, has
this
to
is
be.
the opposite where they were like, oh, like Japanese people heard that they're like, oh, that's like an American sounding phrase like Winback. That sounds so cool, and we're like, what the
Yes.
fuck are you talking about, Winback? What does that mean?
Back. But it's weird because if they just kept it in the Japanese way,
Winbaku.
it does sound cool. I'm all in on Winbaku. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of like the capital of Azerbaijan, but otherwise it's pretty sick. That was a lot of games, folks. We're going to draw this podcast to a close. We got some emails as well. I'll keep them for next week because we talked about a lot today, and we're actually recording a lot this week because of Computer Worlds. Like I said, head over to Noclip 2 and check out videos from Nocaps, Jeremy, Jesse, and myself, all about some of the awesome games that were in the showcase. Go check out the showcase. Go check out the Steam page. Links in the description of this podcast. Otherwise, Disco 5 is up at the moment. Disco 6 is online Noclip for Noclip patrons in early access. We're going to get another episode of Metal Garasha up, so it should be up on the Noclip 2 Patreon by the time you're listening to this. And then, we'll have news on new Noclip stuff. We have a bunch of smaller projects I want to get out in the next month. Jeremy's awesome Star Wars Galaxy video we made last year. Some videos from our friends at Torby, working on Everbloom, and probably all in on Cyberpunk then after that. Finally get that one out there. So loads going on, folks. Please support us. Patreon.com/Noclip and Patreon.com/Noclip2. Go check out Computer Worlds, and we'll see you again. Nocaps, thanks for joining us this week. Really appreciate it. It's
Yeah,
nice to
that was
talk to
very
somebody
fun.
who's not constantly bringing up wrestling all the time. although I do-
Oh,
I do
burn.
miss-
Wow, he's not even here to defend himself.
I know, yeah. No,
He's seeing wrestling.
He's happier than he would
boy.
be on the pod, to be fair.
Wait,
What's your hobby you would like to talk about that has nothing to do with video games? Do you have any, or are you sicko like me who doesn't really?
I don't really have one. I used
Love
to be
it.
into rock climbing, but I haven't done that in a while.
Why'd you stop? Too hard? Too boring?
No, I loved it, but I hated the drive there. Like, I want to be able to walk to it.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's fair. What you need to get is a mountain. You know?
Oh, those are cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. For your backyard. Just get a... I had a friend actually who put up like one of those climbing walls. with
Oh,
all the
okay.
little- what do you call the things?
Like a little bouldering grabs.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're called.
Handle, hold. I'm asking her.
Holds?
She
Oh,
holds. There you go. Yeah. I feel like, he did that in his garage, and I was like, that's really cool. I'd be fucking terrified I did it wrong, like
Yeah.
all the time. Like I would not trust that I had not fucked this up, and I'm gonna like fall off this thing. I'd also
There's
wouldn't
a
know where
mat.
to put them. Oh yeah, there's a mat. Yeah.
Unless the whole wall comes down, then.
That's a different problem. At that point, I'm glad it fell on me. Just take me out, you know?
Take you
that
out,
way I
just
don't have to
finish
fix it. Yeah.
It'd be amazing if like Alex Honnold was still alive, but
Was
You-
what
you had-
happened?
No, he is still alive.
Well,
no,
you
just,
know that we don't
sorry,
know.
I'm creating a hypothetical future in which somebody dies in their like garage climbing, and he's still doing El Cap with no ropes, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's totally fine.
I do have to inject and just say that I found another source that says the title in Japanese for Winback was Impossible Mission, which I had to share because it's just Mission Impossible backwards.
Yeah, that's worse.
That's probably why they couldn't call it that
Probably.
in America.
That's what
right?
videogamesmuseum.com says it's called.
So it must be true.
I have heard of Impossible Mission before, so yeah, I didn't know that's what that was.
Is that the one starring Cruise Tom?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you know the Zootopia movies?
Yeah.
They're called Zootopolis in Europe,
Oh, that's cool.
which
That's
was
a fun
very.
name.
Is that Coppola
Bernstein
movie?
Bears. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They also cost like hundreds of millions more. He had the guy at Pixar or whatever had to sell his vineyard to keep it. Apparently, there is a. I think it's like a German water park or animal park that's called Zootopia, so they couldn't call it that in Europe.
Oh, okay.
They had to come up with something else.
Is that what they call Pokemon Pokopia in Europe? They call it Pokemon Pokopolis. Is that why they do that?
Exactly.
I like that, actually.
Yeah.
I still have to watch Megalopolis.
No, you don't.
Nah, I don't think you do.
I want to watch the documentary about the
Yes.
Megalopolis.
Yes. Sorry.
What is that? Is that
It's Adam
from-
Driver. Just like, yeah. I've seen.
I thought
I've
you were
only seen clips. It's
imitating
very bad.
whatever car was driving past.
I thought you were doing a fucking- I thought you were just doing like a vocal imitation of a car noise.
Love it. Hopefully our video on Big Walk is up because this is basically the vibe of the whole thing. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled for that as well, folks. All right, thanks again, No Caps. Hopefully we'll have you back on again. Frank
Yeah.
Howley, if you're listening, apologies. We love your wrestling. Please don't be mad at me. J. Crew, pleasure as always. And thanks to all of our incredible patrons and listeners. Thank you all so much. We hope you enjoyed Computer Worlds. It's been a dream putting it together or supporting the folks putting it together. Go play some awesome games. Games we talked about today on the pod, the games on Computer Worlds, and we'll talk again to you next week. Bye-bye.